why Will Smith and Jada, despite having all the material success, have such a up and down relationship. Why do they have such a tumultuous relationship? And how does manifesting come and plays a part into this relationship, and what lessons we can take from this event, which is all over the news, all over media, and how we can apply it to our lives and maybe to life of others. So my name is Rohit. I've been studying about law of attraction and manifestation for years now, and my goal with this channel is to simplify manifesting so people can manifest a perfect health, dream relationship, dream house, whatever they desire with the power of their imagination. So a very key concept. First of all, I do not want to discuss about celebrities or other stuff, but a lot of fellow manifestors have asked me, some of my clients have asked me, what are my thoughts about it? Why they being so successful have such a tumultuous relationship? Why do they have all these relationship problems when they seem to have everything, but they seem to have all these problems? So let me go back to the fundamentals of manifesting. The fundamentals are everything. People, I got this from Robin Sharma, and ever since I heard him say that, it's the consistency on fundamentals. Whatever is the mastery of fundamentals is what gets you success or faith, or unmastery, if that's a word. Unmastery of fundamentals is what gets you the failure. But so what are the fundamentals? The fundamentals are the key which are going to make or break the situation. So what are the fundamentals of manifesting? So one of the basic fundamentals is, if you haven't watched the video, I'll put it in the description below, where I explain all of the Neville Goddard's technique in under 10 minutes, so you understand how it actually works, but I'll make simplified very short. So whatever is impressed on your subconscious mind, right, it has a very high likelihood and will be expressed in your 3D world, in our current reality. So it could be an assumption, it could be a belief, it could be a fear, it could be a memory, it could be any of those things which you can replay in your mind's eye, right? One of these things have a very high probability of getting impressed on your subconscious and getting expressed in your 3D world. And so if any of these things are impressed, you cannot really stop them unless you impress a contrary assumption which takes over that assumption, or a belief which takes over, which basically replaces those negative beliefs or assumptions or fears. So in a lot of cases, and that's why it's really hard to have a celebrity life, is you're always under the lens first. And the second is, because you're always under the lens, you're always hearing negative, positive things, and we are human beings, we have emotions, so we are constantly reacting. So when we hear positive things, it feels great and we are very happy, but when we hear negative things, we are reacting, so it's causing all sorts of problems and all sorts of issues, because if you're not really able to stay calm or centered, and we're constantly reacting to the negative has a very high chance of getting impressed. I'm just speculating because I cannot be 100% sure what Will was thinking or what Jada was thinking, but I can tell you from my personal experience and from other clients I've coached and other people who have commented on my channel and other manifestors, that in one way, shape or form, Will had either an assumption or a belief that relationships are either painful, or relationships are a lot of work, or relationships are always difficult, or relationships take a lot of effort, or I'm going to lose my wife or my partner at one point in time. He had any one of these assumptions, and these played out in his life. For example, let's say he read in a newspaper that Jada was, having an affair with someone, and he probably reacted to it, and he was like, oh, and that it became an assumption. I'm gonna lose her. She's gonna do something. She's gonna have an affair with someone. Or there was speculation of affair. Even if it didn't happen, doesn't matter. He had this speculation, and then he was like, oh, what am I going to do? So I'm not going to say what is right or wrong, because morality for a lot of people is very subjective. What I'm saying is what he wanted, or what he impressed on his subconscious, is what played out in his life. And then he was upset for a while, or he was sad for a while, and then I think he's doing okay now. But this is what I'm saying. So there was a point in time when he was really afraid. I think he had this fear that his wife is going to have an affair, or is going to do something which is going to make him unhappy, or his marriage is not going to work. So he had this deep-seated fear, and the problem with having deep-seated fears is that unless you really tackle them head on, so I'm very supportive of people going to therapy or something, because other therapists and clients, I've known other people helping their clients deal with such situations. But the best way to deal with situation is completely accept it and minimize your reactions. Completely accept the situation and minimize your reactions. So if he was like, okay, if something does happen, if she has an affair, I accept it. It's okay. I accept it. And the more he would have accepted the situation, even though it is very painful, even though it might not be true, the more he accepted the situation, the less he would have reacted and the less likely that situation would have happened. It's very simple, because he was constantly reacting. Let's say you're constantly thinking, oh, my partner is going to cheat, or my partner is going to have an affair, and you're going to bed and you're thinking about these things. When you're trying to relax with your friends, when you're having like a couple of drinks with your friends, you're talking about, I'm afraid that, my partner is going to do this or that. And if you're constantly thinking about it, especially in a relaxed state, you have a negative assumption, belief, or a fear, and it's playing out in your mind. Okay, it may be totally fictional, something written in the newspaper article, and you're reacting. It has a very, very, very high chance of getting impressed. And this is what I want to bring to other people's attention, right? Something may or may not be true, but if you're constantly reacting to it, if you're constantly thinking about it, if you're constantly assuming it that it is true in your mind's eye, it is going to manifest. So the best thing is we can train ourselves to react the least, and whatever negative assumptions we have to catch ourselves and create a positive assumptions around it. For example, if Will would have just created a positive assumptions that my partner is faithful to me, and my partner loves me, my partner takes care of me, our relationships are wonderful, my relationship is harmonious, my relationship is peaceful, my relationship is supportive, whatever these assumptions he would have created and visualized it, or maybe affirmed to himself in a relaxed state, these would have become his reality. But instead, he chose to focus on the fear, or he chose to focus on negative assumption, or he chose to focus on reaction to what was posted in the media, and then it became a reality. So I cannot be 100% sure that this is exactly one of these things happened, but I'm very 99% sure that one of these things is what got impressed in Will's subconscious, and then it unfolded. You have planted the seed in your subconscious, and now it is going to manifest, right? It is going to manifest. For a lot of people, you might have seen that they're always afraid of losing money, and they constantly lose money. Or you might have seen some person who had a trauma, and their whole life became about avoiding the trauma, and they're constantly thrown into situations where they have to face that trauma again. Or you might have seen someone who constantly believes that love is painful, and they're constantly getting together, breaking up, getting together, breaking up, getting together, breaking up, because they have an assumption, or they have a deep-seated fear that their partner will leave them, and their partner leaves them, and then they get back together, and then leaves them again, then they got back together. So this is all our assumptions playing out in the 3D world. And honestly, I cannot truly understand what it is like to be a celebrity. Of course, they go through a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress on that, but they also have the kind of money to easily get coaching, maybe attend meditation camps, maybe learn about manifesting, whatever. They have the money to do that, so they easily can afford it. And I think a lot of people would be even willing to help them for free because they're celebrities, right? So they have all the means to help them. But the most important thing is, what is that is getting impressed is getting expressed. So what deep-seated fears, assumptions, or negative beliefs? I read in one of the newspapers that Will said that Jada grew up in a family where the relationships were anything but conventional, and he assumed that Jada will be okay with having an unconventional relationship, which may or may not be true. Okay, if he had that assumption, it will become true. Or his relationships in her family were problematic, and that assumption played out in his life, and his relationship became problematic. So you see, the impressions are getting expressed, and there's nothing extraordinary about it. If you just look at the basics and the fundamentals of manifesting, what was actually getting impressed is going to get expressed, right? And maybe he was afraid that whole world is going to find out what happened in the relationship. The whole world is going to see what happened in the relationship. Our whole world is going to talk about it. He was afraid that maybe there was a point he was like, just don't talk about a relationship. We are not getting a divorce. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about the me. And so he had this constant assumption of fear that please don't talk about our relationship. And then what he did is he went on the stage and he hit the comic actor, I'm forgetting his name, on Academy Awards, the most watched award in history. He went on the stage, he lost his cool, and he hit the comic guy, right? And guess what happened? He was afraid and he was fearful, or he was running away from, I don't want to come on the news and media, please don't talk about my relationship, please don't do that, we don't want any more headlines, news. And guess what? He was on headlines everywhere on the world, even in small countries, right? In Southeast Asia, even in Africa, he was on headlines everywhere in the world. The whole world knows about it. And guess what will happen? They will go and then they will search about their wife, and they will search about the relationship. Everyone in the world knows about it. The more he tried to run away from it, the more it got impressed, and it was a deep-seated fear. I'm pretty sure when he was relaxed, he was constantly thinking about it, and that is what got manifested. So that's what I wanted to share. I personally don't like talking about celebrities. I don't want to discuss their personal lives, and honestly, I cannot understand the kind of stress or pain they go through, because they have a lot of stress. They always have cameras following them. We can never really truly understand what is going in a celebrity's life, and it can be really painful. But what I really want you guys to understand from this video is this: all these events which have happened in his life were his creation. At one point, shape in either consciously or unconsciously, in one shape or form, he impressed it on his subconscious mind that this will happen, or he had a deep-seated fear or an assumption that this is going to play out, and this is how it played out. So that's all I wanted to share. And if you really want to understand the fundamentals of manifesting, I will post a link in the comment section below where the fundamentals of manifesting, or you can go to my homepage and you will find the video which says Neville Goddard's techniques explained in under 10 minutes, and you will understand what are the fundamentals of manifesting. So if you do become a celebrity, or if something like that happens in your life, you will be able to tackle it from a manifesting standpoint, right? You are able to really solve it in a very calm and peaceful manner, and in a very efficient manner. So that's all I wanted to share. I hope you got great value out of this video. Give it a thumbs up and post in the comment section below, what do you think? Was it his assumption? Was it his fear? Or was it a negative belief? Or was it like a painful memory in the past? What was it? What could have caused Will to have this negative impression? I would love to know your thoughts, because I'm not sure I'm 100% correct on it. I'm pretty sure I'm very close to it, but I'm not 100% sure. So I would love to know your thoughts. What do you guys think? Why this happened? And if you really want to know more, go ahead and watch my shorts playlist. You can watch that, and you can watch another video is what your specific person is thinking when you're manifesting them. Both of them you can find on my homepage, and I'll also post a link in the comment section below. Until then, I wish you great success on your manifesting journey, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.